Hello YouTube, welcome to another Sprinter video. In this video I'd like to show you how to remove fuel injectors, and also I'll be removing a cylinder head. It might be done in parts. I've removed the fuel injectors before. I haven't removed the head. I believe it's not going to be that difficult. The plan is to go ahead and undo the plastic piece here to reveal the fuel injectors underneath. Then what we're gonna do is remove all fuel injectors, disconnect these lines that's going right into the fuel rail, and remove all the electronics. Most of the stuff I've been disconnected because I've been removing various parts from the Sprinter, but most everything is intact. This is just the radio support is gone, all the grill, all the radiators. I've removed it, so it's going to be visible exactly what I'm doing. It's going to be kind of self-explanatory. So the plan is, once I'm going to remove all these pieces here, these electronical pieces that goes to the fuel injectors, all those sensors and stuff, I'm going to remove them. And then I'm going to remove this transmission head cover. It's covering it up. It's a very thin aluminum piece that you cannot remove unless you remove the fuel injectors first. But I plan to leave this on here, the intake manifold piece and the fuel rail and this flow masters or whatever they're called with the turbo. I might leave all this intact. We'll see. Nothing is set in stone yet. So anyways, the plastic piece I already have removed. You could just remove it like this and set it to the side. Alright, so here are the fuel injectors. There is a total of 5 in here. All these electronics is going to this here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the electronics. And then this fuel line, this is a return fuel line on the fuel injectors. These nozzles, they might be plastic. If yours are plastic, be very careful when removing this. Of course, you first need to remove this little pin here. And this is going to be the first thing you're going to need to remove. So just take like needle nose pliers or like a flathead screwdriver, just lightly try to pull them out, because they're very easy to lose, and I'm pretty sure Mercedes or Dodge will charge your arm and a leg for them to try to get them back, or they might even tell you they don't have them. You got to buy them with the fuel injector, because normally when you buy a fuel injector, this little piece is on there. So once you disconnect these little pieces here, start by removing the first line first. Grab it here like with some kind of nice pliers that hopefully maybe that evenly grab, and just like lightly twist and pull it out straight. Do not just try to yank them out of there, because they're easy to break. If you're not gonna break this portion, it's very easy to break this portion. And if you break it, because they're usually very dry and brittle, well, then you're gonna have to buy this whole new fuel line. It's gonna cost you like around $118 at the Mercedes. If you're lucky, if you got some kind of discount, it might cost you somewhere around like $94. So yeah, be careful with that. But another thing is, if you got a Dodge, chances are it's plastic. Just go ahead and buy yourself a nice metal one. With the Mercedes sells them with the metal nozzles, and they're a lot better. That's what I end up doing. I bought a one with the metal ones, and then you don't have to worry about them falling off, and you know, like, and then you're gonna have like a lot of diesel leaking over here, and of course you're not gonna know that it's leaking because there's a little hole at the back over there. It basically leaks out of the little pipe, so you're gonna have a lot of diesel underneath your vehicle, and you're not gonna know where it's coming from. If it's your fuel tank, or you know, maybe it's your fuel filter leaking, or some kind of fuel line, or it's the actual injectors leaking. It's very tricky. So yeah, be careful with those, or just go ahead and put yourself a new one in there. That would be a nice investment. Usually these fuel injectors, once I get to them, usually they're pretty tricky, and the way you want to remove them, once you get the this fuel return line removed, then you'll have to remove the electronics, and it's pretty easy to do that. You just press on this little thing here, and then just kind of pull it out. Usually they're pretty easy to come out, okay? Now some of them might be really stuck on there, depending if it's really dirty. This one seems kind of clean in here, despite some little dust in here, which is nothing. If you got some like Black Death goo in there, yeah, it's gonna be quite difficult to remove everything. I hope I don't run into this situation. Okay, so next you'll need to remove these fuel lines here. So remove that on all of them, and then you're just gonna have one little bolt here to remove one of those. I'll tell you what size that is. Not sure if I remember it exactly. It could be 8mm type of thing, but it's obviously a different head on it, so it might be a different name. Okay guys, a little update. As you can see, I have removed all this extra parts that I was talking about. All the injectors are undone. As you can see, they're all sticking up. I'm gonna show you a tool that I've used. This is what I end up using. I put it in like that, and I actually just use pliers. It's not the ideal way to do it, but if you could get a T40 like on a ratchet or something, that would be probably a lot better. But you want to make sure, you know, to kind of stay thin like this. And I thought I had a proper one, but I don't see it in my kit right now. Because there's just not a lot of room back here, as you could tell. Let's see, I'm gonna put it on. I mean, look the amount of room you have, you see? So you'll have to have something that's gonna be like long, pointy, and maybe like a little ratchet at the end. Yeah, so the first injector came out quite easy. Here it is right here. It came out. So I'm gonna try to see about the other ones, if they're gonna come out easy or not. I hope they're gonna come out easy. Guys, a little update. I have pulled out 3 injectors. Looks like every other one is pulling out. Not without a fight. I have to twist them back and forth So I just do this simple little method. I stick a screwdriver in there and I try to push it forward and pull it back, just like the way I have it there, just like in that little groove. And I try to hold it over here like this as I'm prying it, and trying to lift it by hand each time I actually pull it towards me. So as long as it's moving, most likely you'll be able to pull it out. Now if it's completely seized down there, it's not moving, you could try to put a screwdriver on the end here like this and just tap it with the hammer, you know, hope to get things loose. But if that doesn't work, I mean, there's only so much you could do. The next thing, you could see one of my videos that I have. What you'll need to do is remove this top portion of the fuel injector, undo it, and inside you'll see like sort of like a Allen wrench type of fitting. There's sort of like a Allen wrench type of like a bolt that's like right in there. It's not even a bolt really, it's like this little end piece. Once you take it apart, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll need an Allen wrench, like a big one, to pull it out. And once you pull it out, it's going to expose threads, inner threads of the fuel injector. And then you'll need a bolt that could actually fit on there, and then use sort of like a method that I've used in one of my videos. You could just search for it. It's going to be one of my very first videos, how to it's a fuel injector pulling tool that I've made myself. So I believe I actually describe how to make it, or if you need help, just leave a comment and I'll explain it to you where I got the parts and how to make the tool. A little update. These 2 fuel injectors are still stuck, but what I forgot to mention is whenever you remove the fuel injector fork thing or the fuel injector, just go ahead and tighten up another bolt in that spot. because some dirt will get in it, and then once you're gonna end up putting the bolt back and you don't know the dirt is in there, you'll end up stripping it, or the actual thread of the head, because it's aluminum. You don't want to strip those threads. Now if you do get some dirt in here like this one, the you know, so you'll just have to use like one of those, you could make yourself just like a cleaner for the hole. Just take the original bolt, because you cannot reuse those bolts anyway. Just make it pointy in the end, and then cut 2 grooves, like use a grinder along the bolt. Just cut like 2 grooves. Later on I'll show you like the way I made my own. So you just take that original bolt, stick it in there, twist it in there, it's gonna clean all the dirt out. That's the way I do it. Or you could just buy the actual proper tool, you know, to clean it out. Guys, an update on the fuel injector removal process. These 2 fuel injectors are stuck. Before this video I could not even move any injector. Now I could barely move this with a screwdriver. However, this one, it has moved because of this impact hammer, but I cannot still move it with a screwdriver back. I mean, it's going to be difficult. So the way I'm actually using this, I'm going to show you. So what I am doing is I put it on there like that, on top. You could put on the... I am using 2 hands on it, so it's a little bit more stable. I could actually make a damage, but as you could see, it's causing the fuel injector to move. And I'm gonna try to do the same thing to that one, even though it's already moved. So yeah, that's basically how it works. It's way better than one hammer. I've been banging on it with by putting a screwdriver, by putting it like this and just tapping on it with the hammer. It hasn't been really working. Yes, it leaves some nasty marks on it. It's not gonna hurt anything, but anyways, I don't think at this point you're really worried about the fuel injector. The fact of the matter is, you gotta, when they're stuck like that, they're pretty much considered goners. You'll need either a nice good set of used injectors, or you'll need to just buy some new ones. Maybe just buy the whole set and just don't even worry about it, because when doing a job like this, you're gonna have 1 or 2 fail. Just gotta replace all of them. Oh yeah, you must always use new bolts. Do not reuse bolts. Those bolts are only meant to be used once, and they stretch whenever you torque them. So you gotta buy a fresh set of bolts, and I recommend Mercedes. They're actually cheaper than Dodge. So I'm gonna get back to trying to play with them, trying to remove them. I hope I could remove them. At this point I'm hopeful. At least I got them to move. They might need to sit like this overnight. I'm also using a PB blaster that I have over here. This seems to be working quite well. I spray PB blaster around the fuel injector, and whenever it vibrates, I believe it actually some of this PB blaster stuff, it actually gets down in a hole, and that's the idea, because at first it's kind of like nothing's gonna get inside, but with the vibrations I believe it's helping. So by this sitting overnight like this, it might actually be better tomorrow to work on them, but I'm still gonna work on them a little bit and find out what I could get with. And alright, all the fuel injectors are out. We had a couple stock fuel injectors, but I worked them out of there. It's a good thing, because the rest of the part is easy. I just gotta remove this head gasket cover, and I'm gonna start proceeding with head removal. This is one of the stock fuel injectors that I have removed. I've used the impact hammer to remove it. Also the screwdriver, I've been basically wiggling it back and forth, but at first it would not even wiggle, and it just takes a lot of work to try to work it out of there. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned tomorrow. I will be removing the rest of the parts in the engine so I could get to the torque converter, so I could actually spin it, because there's possibly bent valves on here, and they're causing the engine not to turn over, and I cannot remove a torque converter if it's not turning over, so I need to fix that. So thank you guys. Please subscribe, like my videos, and come back to see more. Thank you. Hope this helps you guys. Bye bye.